we as people are taught to hate. Nobody in this world is born with hate. Nobody in this world is born with any sort of malice towards a group of people because they are a part of a group of people. Racism, sexism, everything is completely a learned trait. But what else is learned by us throughout the people and the our peers that we choose to hang around and the people that tell us things throughout our lives is what we know about ourselves. I mean, you've heard the saying, show me your friends and I could show you your future, but what happens to the people that aren't your friends? And the people that just say things in passing, mention a part about you that you would never really thought about before, whether that be positive or negative. But whether we like it or not, it's mostly the negative effects that stick with us, exactly, especially through our formative years. I was on a call one time with somebody, and one of the people was trying to get at me. She was like, oh, I think you're cute, whatever. And like it got to this point where she was like asking me to rate her. And I was like, hey, like, I don't really do that. I don't really want to rate you. But like, hey, you seem cool, but I'm just not really that into you. That's exactly how I had phrased it. I wasn't out here like, yo, you're ugly as shit. 5, move on. No. I was very respectful about the whole situation. She didn't really take a liking to that. And she said, okay, you long neck ass bitch. And left the call. And it was funny. I was able to laugh it off for a second. I started looking in the mirror. And I was like, damn, my neck is actually long as shit. I do actually have a long ass neck. And I was insecure about it for like 2.5 years after that. Solid 2.5 years. I would wear hoodies so that like it would cover up like mostly this part. Like I genuinely do have like a bigger neck. I'd wear hoodies that would cover this part, and I thought I'd had big hair at the time, and I thought that the reason that hoodies didn't fit me was because like of my hair and whatever, and I was just like, no, it's actually because my neck is just long as shit, and no hoodies can fit me correctly because of that. And I started thinking a lot of these things about myself, things that I would have never thought before if I had never hopped on that call, if they had never said that to me, if they had never gotten butt hurt. It probably would have come up a little bit later in my life at some point, but it wouldn't have been brought up in a negative connotation. Probably it might have, but as far as I know it and how it turned out in this one, it was brought up like that. And I wore things to consistently cover my neck. Every time I was out, I would look at pictures, and I was like, damn, like I don't know. I felt like that was one of my major flaws forever. And as we grow as people, a lot of our insecurities kind of start to fade as we look at them long enough, and we kind of learn to live with it. Because I know that my neck is I still have a longer neck, but I don't look at myself. I'm like, damn, like what the fuck? I'm like, oh, cool. Because it's just a part of me now. But so was the insecurity that I'd felt for a long time, and kind of forced me back into the shell and caused me to think a lot more, but not in a good way. And I believe that most people who go around and kind of say things frivolously, and go out throughout life um, without really any intention, just saying things to people because this, that, and the third, maybe you're mad in the moment, and you don't really think about things can affect people in the long run. And I know that I too was one of those people. I would go around, I would say certain things, I would just do certain things that just, first of all, weren't really me. I was stuck around a group of people that I was trying to impress because it was back from quarantine. I had no friends at all. So I was trying to find my little group, and I thought I had found my little group. I hang out with none of the people that I like really hung out with in 7th grade at all, because I was too busy trying to impress the wrong people. I spent my days idolizing those that were really just like me, lost, finding their own groove, because we're all the same age. I wasn't looking up to anybody older than me. Shit, I think one of them niggas was younger than me. And I spent my time looking at them as if they were this headstone that I was gonna keep on following, and just kind of this scroll that I was gonna live my life by, this prophecy, this book of rules. And it didn't work out at all, not at all. And so I went around saying and doing these things that I still regret. And even at a young age, when I was kind of doing things and I didn't realize how my words could affect people, I was in pre-K at the time, I believe. Yeah, it was pre-K. Good old Bethlehem Elementary. Um, and I don't remember the context of it at all. I don't remember what led up to this moment. I don't even remember 95% of pre-K. But what I do remember was this dude Ty, who I thought that, we were buddy buddy. Um, Maybe I'd been messing around with him or whatever. And he walks up to me and he just says, "You're a bully," and walks away. That's it. "You're a bully." Walks away. I have never forgotten that. I went back that day and I cried and I cried, because that was the first moment I had felt like any other emotion than like childlike joy. I I had no idea how to handle it. I didn't know. You had heard about bullies, like, oh, they were this big bad thing, and I would, you kind of look down on it like, hey, that would never be me. And so at a young age, to be called that and be pointed out on that was crazy for me. Didn't expect it at all, especially since I thought that we were friends. And because I don't know what led up to this, like, I'm not gonna sit here and say like, oh, like, nah, he was on some bullshit. He was probably right. I was probably being very unintentionally rude to this little kid. But it's the fact that he was able to speak up and tell me this that shaped how I was able to move on down the road. And I'd had no really major run-ins with anybody as I had moved on throughout elementary school. And then COVID hit, and I was completely shut off from the world, and I was in my own little bubble. And I went back to this almost childlike state of not caring, of not having other people be able to tell me who I can't be. Only my parents and my supporting, loving family to tell me that I can. And while it was detrimental for me socially to be away that long, as far as me figuring out who I am as a person, it was amazing. It was the best thing that could have happened to me for that reason. But when I came back to seventh grade, when I came back to school, all lost. Any piece of information, any ideas of myself that I thought I knew, because I thought I was pretty cool. I thought I was a pretty decent little kid. I thought I had it figured out relatively. All thrown out the window, all gone. Kiss that shit goodbye. And so here I am, absolutely polarized by this new school, new people around me that were coming in from other elementary schools. And I didn't know how to handle, I didn't know how to handle anything. And it led to me finding, like I said, finding that group of people, being not a good person to try and impress this group of people, because I thought that they were so cool and, oh, this is what cool people do. Couldn't have been more fucking wrong. And so I got stuck in this place for a while until the end of 7th grade when it got really bad and I was spending like weeks in school suspension at a time. And now, were a couple of them bullshit? Yes, because I was already on the little teacher's watch list and they just didn't like me. For valid reason they didn't like me, but some of the detentions weren't valid. But nonetheless, I did deserve most of those shits. Um, definitely did deserve. I was a badass little kid, and like I'm able to laugh about it now, but I was genuinely fucking struggling then. I was struggling so hard. That was a cry out for help, man. And luckily, I have parents that are smart enough to see that, and my dad called me out on it. They were like, "Hey, I don't know who you hang around, but it's the wrong group of people. And you are either going to end up dead or in jail trying to impress them." I haven't had an infraction since. Since the end of 7th grade, never had detention. I've had like a couple emails home, maybe at most. Never had to be sent up to the office for something. Switched my way of life completely because of who was around me. But let's say my dad never had that conversation. Let's say I stuck around those people that would tell me this, that, and the third, that encouraged me to live my life this way. I wouldn't be here speaking to y'all right now. I wouldn't have this account. Nigga, I wouldn't even have a phone. I don't know if I'd had this room, that TV. Damn sure wouldn't have this fucking setup. My entire life would be completely different if I'd chosen to stuck with that same group of friends for 7th grade. Obviously, there's a couple of people that I still hang out with and still talk to because they cool people. But I wasn't hanging out with them enough in 7th grade, and that was the issue. I didn't have anybody to really steer me back on course that, was my age and was able to keep me in check at school and stop me from even being around those people in the first place. Because some of those people got dragged into it too. And so I was able to kind of sit there and be like, damn, why am I doing all this? Because I was lost, I was unhappy, and I was around a group of people that I was hoping would bring me guidance and make me happy. Not realizing that nobody can do that shit for me. I was looking at other people like a crutch to kind of fill in what I didn't have. When I came back to school, all that coolness I thought I lacked, I thought I gained it back because I was chilling with them folks over there. I was acting up. That was disrespecting teachers. I was doing this, that, the third. I thought I was one of them. And for a while I was one of them. But I damn sure wasn't cool. Not at all. Not at all. I still got made fun of in that group for talking white. It just meant I didn't use slang, by the way. just meant I wasn't talking crazy. But again, that made me insecure about my speech. And so I started code switching when I was around them. Something that I'd never really done before. Because obviously if you're growing up in a suburban area, you don't talk like you from the suburbs. So I'd never really had to code switch around white people before. Well, slightly, but you get the point. And so I'm sitting there, changing how I talk. One of my white friends comes over, talking completely different. They're like, "Oh, why you do that?" I'm like, "My fault." I became very silent because I felt like I was going to say the wrong thing at the wrong time, and I was just going to get clowned on. I felt that it was better to not speak because I just didn't know what could happen. kind of minimize that risk. Became very closed off. Damn sure wasn't telling my parents shit. I was there, you know. I would have never had. What the fuck? I don't know. It's just interesting. All the experiences that I never would have had. And here you see me now. I'm out here talking to a camera. Um, yeah, I think that's why I wanted to get good at talking because I always felt like I wasn't good enough. I felt like I wasn't good enough at a lot of things. That's why I wanted to be good at basketball. Only reason I ever like really started like training in basketball was because my first year of basketball, of like real like feeder basketball. I'd played rec league the year before, but like real feeder, like real organized basketball. At the end of the season, our coach was talking to another coach. He was just like, "Nah, if I had some talent, I could go toe to toe with you. If I had some talent, if we were right there, by the way." So first year, grown ass man calls a bunch of fifth graders untalented. I didn't fuck with that. I started training. I trained a lot, a lot, and I kept going. And so I was really good at basketball for like a little 2 year span. I don't really enjoy the game no more, but I would have never really fell in love with it if it wasn't for somebody trying to take me out of it. But I think that's why my love for the game didn't last, because I definitely did most of that out of spite. And that's what I feel like I've had to learn to let go, is using spite or any form of hatred to fuel me at all. I feel like a lot of that motivation has to come within, because hate seems like a never ending source, but once you're at a certain point, niggas kind of run out of things to hate on. And so you look at the hate and you're like, what the fuck? Like, you just saying words. And so like, it's not even any valid criticism, and it's nothing that will make you want to get better. And if that's your only form of motivation, you're going to stop getting better, because you're going to stop having any real reason to do it. And then you fall off. And then this, that, and the third. So when you get to those points in your life where somebody brings something negative within it, and it makes you want to go extra hard, it's a good source of temporary motivation, but that can't be your basis. That can't be the platform for anything that you move across. And I'd say that, and I like to think that I'm good at talking, but I'm not good at talking in a structured format quite yet. As I continue to make videos and I continue to post, um, I know that I'll get better at it. This is really just kind of like a documenting of me and my experiences and me as a person. Did just say me twice, so you kind of get where I'm coming from at the moment. Um, but you know, I started off the video talking about this. I'm ending it like this, but it's February 1st. It's the end of the longest month of the year, January. Felt insane. Um, 5 more days till I go to New York. That'll be crazy. That'll be crazy. I'm 16 and I'm able to go to New York with just my best friend, just me and my best friend, going to New York for Fashion Week. I'm so excited. I'm overly geeked. Um, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be okay. I will probably make one of these videos every week. I will just label them as, what they are. Probably like just the exact date that I post. But yeah. Uh, right now I'm at what, 415K? Big for me. Big for me. I'm really happy about it. I like all my growth. I hope I can continue to grow on here too, but it doesn't really matter to me because this is more for me than anything. It's really just kind of going to be a video diary of everything that's going on in life. Um, but yeah, by end of next week, I'm gonna have some crazy stories to tell y'all. Actually, no, I can't. I can't do it next week because I'll be literally in New York. I might do it in New York though. We'll see. This video will be up for y'all. I'm just gonna let y'all know that. So it's gonna be either every week or every other week. I might upload that schedule, but hey man, it'll all get figured out. And I'm excited to see where life brings me, where this channel brings me, and where God brings me. I'll see y'all next time. Peace out.